After my first few rounds of Titanfall, hearing this
Hey, your Titan's good to go. Call it when ready.
began to induce a Pavlovian adrenaline rush response. It's a signal that I'm about to transition from the liberating mobility of a jetpack-powered, wall-running pilot to the ego-swelling walking tank. It's more than a Call of Duty with mechs gimmick. Titanfall turns out to be an invigorating multiplayer first-person shooter that melds fresh mechanics with familiar ones, creating a new water-cooler moment almost every time I play. I only wish there was more of it, and that it was easier to fight my friends.
Warning, severe reactor damage sustained.
Nice moves. Now finish the job.
Unlike a Call of Duty or Battlefield game, Titanfall is purely focused on its excellent 6-on-6 multiplayer. There's a laudable attempt to infuse a two-sided campaign into the multiplayer as NPC faction commanders give context to the goals and game modes of specific battlegrounds. Having played through it on both sides, though, I couldn't even tell you what it's about, other than that the IMC and militia factions are at war. Trying to stay alive in a brawl with human-controlled bad guys is too distracting, and without controllable breaks in the fighting, most of the story is reduced to background noise.
Now let's go kick some ass.
One of Titanfall's biggest successes is its keen balancing act. Somehow, as empowering as it is to play as Goliath, David still has more than a fighting chance. Use the cloak or stim ability to sneak or speed your way up to a Titan safely, then hop up on its shoulder, pop the top off its nerve center, and make him pay. In fact, as tense as a Titan versus Titan showdown can be, darting into that fray as a squishy mortal can be an intoxicating mix of stupidity and genius. Of course, the Titan's counter to that move is Electric Smoke, one of many unlockable kit items you can equip as you level up. It serves as both a visibility-killing distraction and also a pilot bug zapper that shakes off any foes who rodeo your Titan.
Warning, hostile pilot detected on board.
Each of the three archetypal Titan varieties feels different and has its situational usefulness. If you prefer to go toe-to-toe, equip the beefy Ogre with the triple threat grenade launcher, kit it out with the particle wall force field, and you'll pack a devastating punch. But if you do, the nimble, dash-happy Strider can actually run circles around you, peppering you with chain gun fire as it goes. I came to prefer one extreme Titan or the other, with the middle-of-the-road Atlas being a solid jack-of-all-trades pick. Notice a theme here? Once again, it's balance. Titanfall's weapons, abilities, and gameplay systems all play together very nicely. Every action has a counteraction, and every weapon and ability a strategic use. The auto-targeting Smart Pistol, for instance, is my favorite sidearm since the Halo 1 pistol, but its relatively limited range and need to get a 3 to 5 second lock-on leaves you vulnerable to counterattack and keeps it from feeling cheap. Besides its balance, map variety is what will give Titanfall its legs. The 15 battlefields range in quality from very good to great. The deserty Boneyard falls into the former category. Its distinctive zip lines accelerate map traversal, and these flying dragon-like creatures provide intimidating set dressing. I'm just sad I can't interact with them. The tiny village Colony, on the other hand, is among Titanfall's best maps. Its tightly packed houses make rooftop fights an experience wholly unlike the action happening on the ground. All of the maps adapt very well to each of Titanfall's game modes, but that's largely due to how they're mostly slight variations on the strong main concept. Last Titan Standing issues everyone a Titan from the get-go and makes teamwork and flanking strategies essential, while the threat of Titans carrying the flag crowns CTF as an especially appealing team exercise. Attrition is point-based team deathmatch, while hardpoint domination is like Battlefield's Conquest mode, where you capture specific points on the map. And then there's Pilot Hunter, which is identical to Attrition except that your team only earns points for killing pilots. And that's it. Titanfall is going to need some new, spicier game modes stat. Its far graver online sin, especially considering its online-only focus, is its lack of private matches. Despite the fact that Halo 2 wrote the blueprint for this a decade ago, Titanfall does not allow 12 friends to gather in a lobby and play together on the game type, map, and options of their choosing. The best you can do is a party of 6, where you're still stuck warring against online strangers with no say in what map you'll fight on. This is unforgivable in a modern multiplayer shooter, particularly one that's exclusively team-oriented. For what it's worth, Respawn promises to deliver those soon in a free update. Oh, and why can't players vote on which map comes up next in matchmaking? And how come I can't rename my custom pilot and Titan loadouts?
Titanfall represents a potent fusion of established and modern shooter design ideas, creating a tense and rewarding balance of power and moment-to-moment unpredictability. MOBA-like minions mixed with traditional on-foot deathmatch, jetpack-powered locomotion, and giant robot combat, each role playing its own part in the battle and coming with its own tactics and strategies. While the well-designed maps make the ideal weapons and loadout completely situational and dynamic. While it's a regrettably bare-bones game in terms of modes and customization features available at launch, its intense action performs smoothly and is almost as exciting to watch as it is to pick up the controller yourself. Despite lacking many accoutrements we've come to expect in a multiplayer shooter, its elements all come together in a cohesive, approachable way. Titanfall earns a seat at the table with the genre's entrenched powerhouses. For more on all things Titanfall, you're already in the right place. IGN.
All units be advised. We're slightly ahead of the insurgents. There's still some time left, so don't let up.